It is well past midnight. You are in the corner of a library under buzzing fluorescent lights, staring down a deadline that determines the trajectory of your semester. Then you glance at the top right corner of your screen. 5% remaining. Your heart rate spikes. Your breathing gets shallow. Reaching into your bag, your hand blindly searches past crumpled receipts for a charging cord, finding nothing. In a fraction of a second, the loss of an electrical current triggers a visceral wave of dread. The brain has milked these devices into our internal sense of self. We perceive the phone as an extension of our own anatomy, an integrated appendage of our nervous system. When the battery drains, the brain registers a threat to our social and academic survival. It is an evolutionary response to an ambush, misapplied to a modern technological crisis. You are facing a forced disconnection from the tribe. When the digital heart monitor finally flatlines and the screen goes black, it stops being a window and becomes a mirror. In that sudden darkness, the reflection shows a raw, unedited face, deep circles under the eyes, and a hollow stare. Physical fatigue is simple to cure. You sleep and the system recharges. But this second meter, existential exhaustion, drains because an algorithmic feed offers distraction without providing sustenance. We're physically rested, but the internal void remains empty because it consumes only noise. This exhaustion thrives in a mental landscape we can call the city of noise. It is a vertical, vibrating world where silence is functionally illegal, and everyone walks around with an invisible mark of urgency, terrified that stopping for a second means being forgotten. To manage this chaos, we build vessels like this one. We name it self-sufficiency. We spend our energy on the top deck, polishing digital mirrors to project a flawless image of competence. That down in the hold, there is only darkness. We accumulate credentials, but without internal infrastructure, the boat has no compass. We polish the mirrors because we have never learned the geography of our own minds. The frantic external performance is a strategy to protect us from the heavy silence of our own internal void. A system built entirely on suppression is structurally unstable. You can only outrun yourself for so long before the inner reality finds a way through the architecture of your avoidance. The disruption is subtle. The underground water of the soul finds a microscopic crack in the hull and seeps through. Silence behaves exactly like water. It is relentless, and it will eventually find a way in. When the breach occurs, it triggers a systemic failure. The monitors, the screens, and the city lights flicker and go dark. The stream of data vanishes, and a catastrophic general silence descends. We judge the older generation for mindlessly clicking through TV channels to avoid their own thoughts, but our scrolling on a sleek interface is the exact same maneuver. The fear of silence is a generational inheritance. We just have a more frictionless way to execute it. Burnout is often the mind orchestrating a structural collapse because it knows we will never willingly stop polishing the mirrors. It pulls the plug on our energy reserves, forcing us to drop the masks and sit still in the dark. In the wreckage of that blackout, a figure appears. He is wearing dark, sturdy pants, and his sleeves are rolled up. Notice the heavy calluses on these hands, the mark of someone who has spent a lifetime engaged in the hard labor of facing the truth. His gaze is a dense, peaceful observation. In the weight of that silence, the defenses have nothing to push against. The digital masks and PR-approved excuses simply dry up and flake off like dead leaves. With the artifice gone, he delivers a single question. Whom do you listen to when the wind goes silent? The silence reveals a cavity. We have spent years frantically filling it with sound bites and influencers to avoid the echo of our own emptiness. We have become an amalgamation of other people's voices, leaving us with no original thoughts of our own. The blackout reveals how much we rely on the noise to tell us who we are. Without a device to tell us what matters, we realize we have never actually learned how to inhabit our own lives. The mirror stops functioning as a tool of self-deception. We look at the dark screen and finally see a human of flesh and bone, with a thirst so ancient and deep we had forgotten how it felt. The claustrophobic city dissolves, and the mental landscape shifts. There are no notifications here, only sand and endless sky. We are conditioned to view a desert as a wasteland to be avoided. Our instinct is to find an exit strategy, to find a distraction that gets us out of the feeling. But here, the desert is the quiet required for formatting a corrupted drive. It is a necessary luxury, the vast horizontal space needed to untether from the attention economy and figure out what actually brings us meaning. Braving the sensory deprivation of this internal desert is the only way to find the signal beneath the static. You cannot bypass the emptiness. You have to walk directly into the center of it. We do not need a way out of the emptiness. We need to go in. This stillness does not require geographical relocation or a cabin in the woods. Every step of this journey happens within the space between your own ears. The battle is fought and won by choosing to sever the psychological tethers to the city of noise. It happens in tiny, silent acts of rebellion. It is the almost invisible physical action of powering down a device and choosing to exist without a screen to simulate importance. True self-discovery, finding your own first star in the sand, is only possible when you stop running from the dark and bravely inhabit your own internal void. Put the device down. Suspend the sense of urgency. Take a breath and let the